Don't go broke in a nursing home. I think that's a lot of Americans' biggest fear is that, you save your money, you work so hard, it's time for you to retire, and you don't want your money to be misspent or the government gets a hold of it. I mean, there's a lot of different options here, but the bottom line is don't go broke in a nursing home. Elder Advisors can help you with that. With me now is Larry Weiss, who is the owner and president of Elder Advisors, and also Jeff Hurst, who is a realtor with RE/MAX Properties East, and he partners with Larry Weiss when they need him. Okay, I didn't do a good job of describing that.
It was terrible, John. I mean, camera 4 just fell over. It was a terrible intro, John.
It really was. It didn't do you justice, did it?
I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but I am.
Yeah,
could you pick up, Tammy, pick up camera 4? Yeah.
The message is don't go broke in a nursing home, and you don't want to do that. No. And that part is correct.
That is correct.
There's just, you know what, it's very complex.
It is.
And that's why you're needed. So tell folks who have not heard about Elder Advisors what exactly you do, if you would, Larry.
Well, hello, Kentuckiana. This is our first visit for 2019, so Happy New Year, John. Happy New Year, Jeff Hurst of RE/MAX Properties East. But we're doing workshops next week, and but we help families basically transition their loved ones from their homes to long-term care, nursing home, but we use strategies to protect their assets so they don't go broke in a nursing home. Because the reality is, Louisville, you do not have to. You do not have to do that because there are special rules. Steve Langdon at McNeely Stevenson, I think he's going to be on tomorrow with us. He's our guest speaker, and Steve, as the attorney, calls it the special exceptions. And he's developed these plans through his law firm at McNeely Stevenson Law Firm that there are exceptions in the rules that allow husband and wives to protect everything. Because the problem is we're all told by Bob at the barbershop and Carl at the McDonald's Coffee Club, well, you can't do that, or my kid did that 5 years ago. Let Bob cut hair, let Joe collect guns and knives at McDonald's, but listen to the experts because we know what we're doing. Rarely do we ever turn someone away that we can help in some form or fashion because the reality is even if they're in a nursing home, even if they're going through $7,000 a month, we can protect assets. If they're a husband and wife, we can protect all of the assets. If it's a single person, we can protect about half of the assets. It's what we do. They can go on our website, elderadvisors.com, or our Facebook page. I love what I do. I have a passion for this. I'm truly blessed. I very much appreciate being part of the Way 3 community, and I mean that, John. I mean, you're really good at what you do. You understand what we're talking about. It's not canned, and I think that comes through to the viewers. But what we do is basically help people. We never leave them on their own. And what I find is when someone will, they're trying to do this, if anything, they're given a piece of paper and they're saying, okay, take this piece of paper, when you fill it out, come back to me. Well, 3 months later, poor Mr. Smith stumbles back in to the other person out there that's trying to do this, and he's done it incorrectly. Well, now he owes the nursing home $21,000 because it wasn't done correctly. So we hope we hold their hands so they don't go broke in a nursing home. And that's what we're talking about with our workshops next week. Monday night, Tammy, I'm getting to it. That's our producer. Tammy, I'm getting to it. Monday night, 6 o'clock at the 4 Points by Sheraton on Crenton. There it is. Thank you, Tammy. Tim, you're a little late bringing that panel up. Let's get it on next time. But yeah, Monday night, 6 o'clock at the 4 Points by Sheraton in Louisville. And of course, Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock at the Hampton Inn in New Albany. But a part of that is, and I've said this throughout every time I'm on the show, is I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I want to surround myself with top talent. And one of that is, of course, Jeff Hurst at RE/MAX Properties East. Jeff is basically our in-house Kentucky Medicaid realtor because we can take lemons so often and turn them into lemonade. And when I'd invited Jeff to come on the show, as he's been on before, I wanted him to come on as a resource. But then Jeff texted me last night, and he said, actually, Larry, I'd like to talk more about being a client. So with that, I'm going to kind of pass the mic back to you now.
All right, this is interesting because there are many, as I said, there's many facets of protecting your money, protecting your assets. There's a legal side, there's a tax side, there's the real estate side. But here's what I think is really interesting about your story, Jeff, and I want you to tell it, is that, okay, you come from this from a different perspective in that you partnered with Larry and worked with him, but now you've decided to use his services. Tell us the story.
In 2018, situation with my mother and father, I basically overnight became a client of Elder Advisor Care. Situation with my parents, and I thought, wow, what am I going to do to help protect so we don't go broke in a nursing home?
Don't go broke in a nursing home, Jeff.
Don't want to do that by heart now.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Don't want to do that. So I spoke with Larry about it, and I said I want to be a client as well. And the services they provide, the guidance through the process, it's very cumbersome, John. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think obviously you're a smart guy and very good at what you do, but the bottom line is I don't think there's anyone who's qualified other than maybe Larry that knows all of the moving parts that take place when it's time to move into that and make that transition into a nursing home. So tell me about that. Like I said, you know real estate, but what other sides of that business did you not understand?
The $2,000 spin down.
See, and I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Boom, right over the old
well,
head there.
My brother and I, educated, fairly bright people.
Sure.
Neither one of us knew about it. And
if I may, to jump in, because a lot of families, Gus at the coffee club at McDonald's or Bob at the barber shop, to pick up on what Jeff said, and by the way, you look really good with your tie today.
Does look good.
I'm a little threatened by the bow tie. I guess you're much more... Are you? What was that? You're more assured of your masculinity than I am? It has to be, because I am not man enough to put on a bow tie. You clearly are. But it's part of why you're ready for spring, right?
That's right. Yep, spring market's right around the corner. Yep. And like I said, the service these guys provide, guiding you through the process, it's very cumbersome. It's a lot of work on yourself, much less knowing what to do. You've got to rely on them what to do, and then you've got to get names taken off of things. And mom and dad are still, they're fine. Yeah. Both are alive. They're good, but we just, there's a lot.
But I wanted to pick up on that they're operating under the premise that we have to spend everything down to that $2,000. And the reality is, well, we'll do it, but we're going to do it the right way. That's what Mr. Langdon backstops as the attorney with McNeely Stevenson is. We're going to do it the right way, because what we're doing now, that we're pretty much wrapping up now, is we're able to shift all the assets to mom now. She's considered a community spouse. She's in a community, she's at home. So we're moving all those assets over to mom so that we can demonstrate and qualify for benefits for dad, because on dad's side, we do have him spent down now to that $2,000 threshold. So Mr. Langdon, his law office files for the benefits at the L&M building on Broadway, which is where my business partner, Denise Manicke, used to work at as a Medicaid supervisor. I've got the team. I've got the juice.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm telling you. No one does what Elder Advisors does. I mean, anybody can say, well, here's a piece of paper, go fill it out. When you come back, I'll do something about it. In the meantime, they've completely forgotten about you. People often ask, well, Larry, who would you say your competition is? And folks, I have no competition. I am the competition. I eat it up. I love what I do, and if I have a little bit of bravado about it, it's because I've earned it, and I've got the scars to show it. So that's why Mr. Langdon does the legal part. Denise works with the nursing homes, making sure the families are paid, but also to hold the family's hands, because otherwise they just get overwhelmed. And it's been a little overwhelming even for you.
It is. Oh, absolutely it has.
It wears you out. But that's what Tim and Suzanne, they're our dynamic duo. They help you with all that stuff. Sometimes they're giving you bad news in that I need it resent and stuff like that. But we need it, because at the end of the day, when Mr. Langdon files for Medicaid, I want the approval. I want the approval. I want to get the benefits. I want to be able to verify why we kept X money over for mom, why dad's now eligible for benefits. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it right the first time.
I think it's interesting because there's a lot of people pulling in, and they really don't have the client in mind. Like the senior nursing facility, they're interested in that check for the most part. And don't get me wrong, there's some great people who work there and compassionate people, but it's all about the bottom line.
They want that check for $7,000 a month.
And you need someone on the real estate end who's looking out for you as well. So that's why you partner with Jeff, obviously. Now, so a lot of people are interested in the bottom line. You're probably interested in the bottom line. So talk to me a little bit about the kind of money that you can save, folks. Give me some examples. Maybe tell me a story about someone who didn't realize I can really actually put money in my pocket and hold on to my assets.
Well, and those are the war stories that we talk about at our workshop. Thank you for bringing it up. He was late. Thank you. Tammy was talking to my ear. But that's what we talk about at the workshop next Monday night at 4 Points by Sheraton on Crenton Drive.
True stories.
And absolutely true stories. And then Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. And the perfect segue to finish this segment is we had a family, it was a referral from the attorney over in Indiana. Dad had a home, we talked about this last time Jeff was with us, but it's certainly worth repeating, was everybody ran from this home. It was a train wreck, there was minimal money there, and everybody assumed that the house would get nothing for that. And Jeff, sing your praises, if you don't, I will like I did last time. You turned a bunch of lemons into a beautiful sweet lemonade that everybody wanted to drink on that house deal.
That is correct. There's a lot of work that went behind that. I don't even know that it was a lemon. It was something even more sour than what a lemon could be. Because
it was pretty bad.
It was a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think hazmat went in.
Well, when the client gives up, you're in trouble.
Right.
But they actually were probably shocked at the money you were able to put in their pocket.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Remax Properties East. Get it right.
Jeff Hurst.
Remax Properties East, Jeff Hurst. Sing his praises.
And
right
we will do it.
Folks.
There it is.
Remax Properties East, Jeff Hurst.
All right, so again, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the workshops that take place on Monday and Tuesday nights. We'll talk about the kind of information that's available and a little bit more of Jeff's story, because I do think it's interesting. We'll be back after these. Thank you very much, Larry, Jeff, on Wave 3 Listens Live.